Sadly, in the wake of the global coronavirus pandemic, the patient organizations we so proudly represent have reported staggering financial losses at a time when patients need them most. To combat this unfortunate situation, BIOcares was created as a unique grants initiative distinct from individual corporate grant programs. The BIOcares grant program is intended to support patient advocacy organizations where they need it the most as they navigate the tumult of the pandemic. As such, applicants submitted requests for support for continuing programs, overhead costs, and more. The BIOcares program was meant to be different and innovative, and throughout 2021, we have seen tangible benefits for our partners in patient advocacy. We know the pandemic is not over, and there is more work to be done. But for now, we will celebrate the resiliency of these incredible organizations. Please join me in welcoming 2 BIOcares recipients and allow for them to show you the meaning and power that this opportunity provided in the wake of uncertainty.
One day I started having pain in my left leg. It just felt like a pulled muscle. I thought I had just overdone it in the gym, perhaps. I think like so many people, you're busy, and I was a busy mom, and I don't have time to be sick. And so I just sort of downplayed my symptoms and kept hoping to get better. But I didn't get better, and instead I got worse. I got a lot worse. And that started me on an entirely different journey in my life. I had never really heard about pulmonary embolism or deep vein thrombosis. And I had a lot of questions, and there weren't a lot of good patient resources that were provided to me by the hospital where I was discharged. So I attended an educational event which the National Blood Clot Alliance hosted. And what was so refreshing was that I met for the first time patients who also had the same medical condition I had.
BIOcares has really significantly helped a few of our programs, actually. One of which is, as you can imagine, during COVID, the National Blood Clot Alliance was receiving just an incredible amount of incoming calls and queries from people who were concerned about COVID and blood clots. So for a small organization, people-wise, it was putting a lot of pressure on the organization. And so we moved very quickly to start providing people with information about COVID and clots. BIOcares was great because it actually allowed us, for additional resources, knowing how stressed that we were, to give us resources to help get the word out about blood clots and COVID.
On my 30th birthday, I had my then fiance take me to Northwestern Memorial because I knew something was wrong and I didn't know what it was, and I needed to go to the emergency room. I had a very different, I think, experience with my diagnosis than most people have. I was in the middle of a full-blown manic episode, so when I walked in there, they could say, "Oh, you have bipolar 1, and we have a lot of proof of it." After I was diagnosed, I was in AA, and I had a sponsor whose wife was a psychologist, who asked him one day over dinner, "Do you know anyone with bipolar who likes to talk?" And that, we shall say, is how it happened. I've been leading a weekly group since then, and I'm a peer support specialist, which means I share a lived experience with people that I help in many different situations.
The Depression and Bipolar Support Alliance is commonly known as DBSA. It's a peer-led organization that provides peer-to-peer support to participants to our programs. And that started out with the idea of the best people that can support one another are people who have a shared experience. So people who are living with mood disorders can best support themselves.
Peer support specialist has a very special relationship with whomever they work with. I get to reach out to them on a level of evenness, of shared equality, and a bringer of hope to someone who has been there in that situation.
All states except one have a requirement around certification to become a peer specialist. And those states start with taking a peer specialist training course. So DBSA helps out by providing that coursework.
Personally, I can't even express how excited I am to be a part of the DBSA. And it's cliche, but I've definitely learned more and gained more from what I did than what I gave. And I'm forever thankful for that.
We've been very fortunate to receive funding from BIOcares that we'd be able to use. The human condition is around sharing story and being able to share story, whether that's in a support group meeting, whether that's being able to share story by helping someone who's struggling. And so with the help of BIOcare, we've been able to further that project.
I, as a patient, would not be where I'm at today without the assistance of organizations like BIO, who help nonprofits provide more information about diagnosis and prevention and treatment. And that education is invaluable to helping us become empowered patients.
BIO is a wonderful organization that looks to partner with patient advocacy organizations to make sure that the patient voice is being incorporated.
BIOcares is really amazing. It's a unique blend of science, of philanthropy, and advocacy. And we haven't found anybody like that out there. They were so able so quickly to parachute into our strategy, understand our mission and our financial needs, and assist with us in a really fast turnaround time. Honestly, it's like nothing that I've experienced thus far.
Thank you, BIOcares.
Thank you, BIOcares.
Thank you, BIOcares.
Thank you, BIOcares.